Welcome back. Our JanuREADY to Save week continues now with tips on how to teach our kids to be money conscious at any age. Joining us now is personal finance expert Farnoosh Torabi. Welcome back, Farnoosh.
Hey,
Good to see you.
Hi. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Is it ever too early to start this conversation with the kids?
I don't think so. You know, habits start young. They start at home. I think as young as kindergarten, 5 or 6. I have a 6-year-old and a 3.5-year-old. They're starting to show a lot of curiosity around money, and that's really the first sign. They're going to be exploring the world. They're going to see how their friends are living. They're going to come home with questions. You've probably heard, like, why don't we have this? Our friends have that. Why did my friend go to Disney World? We're stuck at home. And I want to tell parents that this is not supposed to be hard. I don't want to stress parents out. It's just about fostering good conversations with your kids. So when they ask you those questions when they're 5 or 6, let's start with the kindergartners. Don't just keep saying no, 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 or ignore them, because that sends a bad message that money should be ignored, that money is scarce. Instead, say, let's practice some good financial planning, right? I'm going to teach you how to make wish lists, right? So you can't have it now, but let's make a wish list. Let's talk about saving. We've got all these beautiful piggy banks. Kids love physical to touch piggy banks. And then also, you know, donations. When we want something new in my house, I say, okay, what are you going to give away? Trade-offs. You're teaching trade-offs. By the way, this piggy bank is my son's piggy bank. He's 6. Don't tell him I brought it. It still has his money in it.
It's so cute.
But I love it because it has 4 slots. This is the Money Savvy Pig. It's been around for 2 decades. Save, spend, donate, invest.
That's great.
Wow.
Yeah.
And speaking of investing, let's talk about tweens, because this is really a great time in their life to introduce the basics of investing. Again, you may not have been the best investor in your life. That's okay. Just get them comfortable with the idea. So many people tell me, adults on my podcast, I wish my parents had just told me about investing. So very simply, you can, as a family, invest in a couple of stocks together, research some of the companies that you like, buy some shares of stock. Also at the tween stage, get them to work. Get them to start earning money. Allowance is a big thing at this age. And how you give it is attach it to a job that is above and beyond what they're normally doing around the house. Like, my kids are not going to get an allowance for cleaning up after themselves. But maybe, you know, if Jim wants to sweep the garage or shovel snow.
I got it for mowing the yard and raking the leaves.
Separate the recycling.
Yeah. And the big question parents always have about allowance is how much? So what works for a lot of families is $1 for every year of age per week. So if you have a 10-year-old, $10 per week.
Thank you for doing the math, because I was trying to figure that out.
Yeah, that's actually great advice.
We've got some more tips right after the break. Stay with us here on Live.
We're back with personal finance expert Farnoosh Torabi. Now let's talk about the great financial vampires in the house, the teenagers. What can we teach teenagers?
Some good news about teenagers. This may surprise you, but they do want to help when it comes to financial issues. I learned this when I was a financial editor at 17 magazine during the last recession. 14-year-old girls writing to me saying, my mom lost her job, she won't talk about it with me, and I want to help. So the message for parents is, if you have been struggling in this pandemic and in this recession, don't shut out your children. Let them know how you're working towards, you know, reshaping the budget, finding a new job, and how they may be able to help with food planning, reducing their spending. Kids really want to help. College is extremely important to talk to kids about at this age too. Don't wait till senior year of high school to say, oh, we haven't actually saved any money for college. Start talking about as young as a 9th grade and talk about the strategies, applying for scholarships, merit aid, the FAFSA, all this stuff, sooner rather than later. And then once they're in college, keep the conversation going. Great time to instill good habits. Encourage them to download their mobile app from their bank to track their spending, and then credit cards. Have them become an authorized user on your credit card.
Do you see his credit card?
Yes, it's actually terrifying.
This is Lola's credit card. We make a lot of credit mistakes in college.
The Bank of Kelly and Ryan?
Be careful, it may catch on fire. I'm just warning you.
So this is great, because being an authorized user, you can avoid the fires to some extent, where you're really watching their activity. They get their own card, but it's still your account, so you can set spending limits and alerts, and just a great way to keep tabs on your kids while they're in school.
It really is the best way to keep tabs on your kids.
You can track everything.
Oh,
and you can shut it down.
Yep.
Well, and I didn't realize that we had a bank, Kelly. Did you see that there? The Bank of K&R?
Yeah. Bank of K&R.
What's the interest rate?
We're sharing in the cost of your kids?
Yeah.
And you were saying saying in the break that responsibility, getting a part-time job,
getting
things
a
like that's so
part-time
important
job,
for young
I think,
people.
is one of the best things you can make your teenagers do.
And studies show as they grow up, the entrepreneurs today, guess what they had, all of them, when they were 15, 16?
A part-time job.
Jobs.
What was how old were you first?
Oh, me? I was 15 years old.
15 years old.
Yeah. Always.
Farnoosh, great to see you.
Thanks
Thank you for being here. Farnoosh, for more information on her, you can check out our website, kellyandryan.com. She's got her podcast you want to hear.
Yep.
Next, our good news story of the day. We'll be right back on Live.
Thanks, Farnoosh.
Thank you so much. It was great. Appreciate it. When it comes to filing your taxes, you don't have to be an expert to get the refund you deserve. You just need the right tools. With TaxSlayer, anyone, no matter their tax situation, can file a federal return for just $17 or even free if you qualify. It's your refund. Go get it at TaxSlayer.com.